99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. We are back again on your radio. Welcome back from Sports Drive. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm Jimi Disu.
All right, so together we will be bringing you the headlines of the papers. We'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But let's hear a word from our sponsors, MTN Nigeria.
Dailies today will be right back. Welcome back to Dailies Today. Dailies Today.
Dailies Today.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Dailies Today, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. Search for it. Lagos is already there. We have viewers from around the world as well watching right now. Hey, guys, welcome. Welcome to the show. Okay, so let's start with the Vanguard newspaper today. Page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. Northern groups plan mass action against fuel. Electricity tariff hike. Northern groups plan mass action against fuel. Electricity tariff hike. The coalition of northern groups, CNG, and its affiliates yesterday threatened mass action against hiking the pump price of petrol and electricity tariff. CNG, at a briefing in Kaduna, expressed disappointment that after mobilizing Nigerians, Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria TUC surprisingly announced a 2-week suspension following an agreement at a meeting with government officials on the eve of the planned action, and they are angry.
Now, thank you, Sheriff. Now, if my memory serves me right, this I think would be the first northern initiative, singular, where there is a planned action of the various northern groups. It is a very dangerous development for the North.
For the North.
It is a very dangerous development for the elite of the North.
For the elites, okay.
And it is a very dangerous development for Nigeria. So I would say that the government should treat it with the seriousness that it deserves, so that we are not caught by surprise.
Right.
When I hear people say, people from the east, from the west, I hear them talk about being marginalized, I laugh at them. Especially in the west, those that are marginalized are the elites, the contractors, and so on and so forth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But if you want to see poverty, go to the north. Loads and hordes of young people that have been seriously marginalized, that have been badly treated by their elders, the elders of the north. The north had a lot of advantage in the past in terms of power, but apparently their leaders kept a lot of the money to themselves. It's now they are trying to play catch up. And therefore, and so it shouldn't surprise you, for example, when at a particular point you saw an influx of northern youth here with brand new motorbikes. I think it was a way of keeping them away from assembling. Now, if you have this planned mass action, it can easily be hijacked, and it can lead to a very unpalatable situation in the north that could spread here. So my appeal to the authorities is to do whatever it takes is to do whatever it takes, to make sure that, to put it politely, it doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
The lesson to learn from this, Sheriff, as soon as I saw this morning, I said, oh, this thing is coming closer. The lesson to learn from this is that our political elite must realize that you cannot take the people for a ride all the time. They say
all
you
the
can
time.
fool them
all the
some
time.
of the time, but and Judgment Day could jolly well be around the corner. If we don't do so, this is not about what do they call it now? Restructuring. I'm not talking about political arrangements for activists and whatever.
Yeah.
All those ones they are not the issue. But the real restructuring of the people to make sure that they can put food on their table and stop this deceit, and for those in power to make symbolic gestures and moves. Because the truth is that the distance between the have and the have-nots, and most of the haves these days are people tied to government or are traditional. I don't know how on earth I would feel comfortable, for example, in this current dispensation of poverty all around. I feel comfortable driving a Rolls Royce in this country. Talk less of even if I'm now some kind of leader. When I see some of our traditional rulers living in such an ostentatious, I keep asking myself, what message are you sending to these people? I'm not even talking of right here, even in the north. You find a lot of ostentatious living. If you go to the social media, you see young.
You see a lot of them, actually.
There are a lot of young talks coming up now.
A lot of them.
Loads of them.
A lot.
Spending money and behaving as if it's going to go out of fashion. But they forget that these young people are seeing them.
Yeah.
They are seeing them.
But hasn't it always been like that in the north? In the north, most especially, where there's a feudal system that actually sell the story of respect
for constituted authority.
Authorities.
Yes. But now, and there's also the hidden problem of drug addiction amongst these young people.
It's not hidden, Jimmy.
When I say
they're
hidden,
dealing with it massively in the north right now.
Well, maybe
massively.
But what I'm saying is, when you talk about drug addiction, you tend to forget that area. That's what I meant by hidden.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? When you talk about there's a problem of drug addiction, in Nigeria, you always think of the young Yahoo boys that you see here, forgetting that they are loose and they sniff anything from glue to septic tanks, to name it.
That's right. Just name it.
So my appeal to the authorities is to make sure that I'm not saying, I don't know how they will stop them. Maybe they will appeal to them. But the bigger appeal is to say to our leaders, this thing is round the corner.
But it seemed everybody was actually looking forward to that strike action by Labour, and a lot of people
it was those who
had done by Labour's decision. But what was wrong with Labour's decision, really? It was a dialogue meeting. It was a meeting. It was a roundtable meeting. Like, okay, what are your demands? This is what we have. Can you take this? At least shelve it for 2 weeks. If we can't come through in 2 weeks, then,
It is the general belief of anybody who knows the history of this country that since June 12 saga, Labour has been hijacked by government. QED. And it's been compromises galore. So nobody, I don't think anybody who knows the things that people like you and I know would have fallen for that charade. Labour is not leading anybody. The Labour, long time ago, like I said, should have taken the initiative. The issues are more fundamental than fuel prices and electricity costs. What has Labour, all the while going in and out of meetings, what have they done about the minimum wage? We believe very strongly, a lot of us believe very strongly, that Labour has been compromised. And I'm not, if I were in government and we're all doing what we're doing, getting these humongous salaries, corruption, look at child feeding, something was found in private account. Yeah. Of course, you will compromise Labour. You understand? And they're ready to be compromised. That's part of what poverty brings.
Jimmy, let's move on quickly to another headline from Vanguard newspaper. $2.2 billion proposed fourth mainland bridge. Lagos begins EIA, engages stakeholders. That's fourth mainland bridge. Vanguard newspaper.
In principle, I would be excited that there's going to be a fourth mainland bridge. But there's an alarm that keeps going on in my head. The alarm would consider, for example, the propriety of having a fourth mainland bridge when you could focus more on mass movement. Put it side by side. That is one. But I must say, go to the social media and go to YouTube and type Gbadamosi's name. He gave a very good analysis on the rail project that has been, it appears to me, has been abandoned
for years now.
Yes. So we'll be looking also at costs. Don't forget that in Lagos there is an insinuation, not known for a fact, that a lot of interested parties are involved in things like this. So you'll be looking at the cost of the project. Then of course you'll be looking at how long this is going to take, how it's going to be funded. Would there be variation? You'll be looking at costs. You'll be looking at all other things in the past. In the past, you know, it was the federal government that built the two bridges, Eco Bridge and Third Mainland Bridge. I hope the state knows what it's letting itself in for by getting a facility of $2.2 billion.
That's a lot of money.
I almost hell. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
The state government has to be extremely transparent in these dealings. More so when a number of people have a fair idea of how party funding goes about, and the principal is going to contest for presidency, which is going to call for loads and loads of money. So these are the insinuations, these are the worries that the state needs to be sensitive about.
Right.
And I'm being most polite because I'm on radio. If it was privately, it wouldn't be as nice as this.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But I'm happy because fine, they engage stakeholders, they do this, they do that. Let's see how far we go. And by the way, what happened to the railway project?
Because I was going to ask you, Jimmy, that so we have an abandoned rail project.
Because
it's abandoned. That's what it is, and a lot of people have actually said that Lagos will move faster and quicker if we have light rail working, in Lagos from one end of Lagos to another end of Lagos.
It's impossible to do a light rail project, which by now, ideally, instead of us thinking of a fourth mainland bridge, the light rail should have been expanded in sync with ferry services.
Right.
Okay? But
take a lot of people off of the road. Use water, use rail.
But we like high figures.
Yeah, we do. We're in love with it.
And then the young people should place a premium on this because they are the ones who are going to pay for this money, whether it is used rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, you're right. They're the ones that will pay, actually.
They're the ones that will pay. Now, we're being nice and cool about it now. But I call on the opposition and I call on what is left of the true media to investigate this so that we can have some level of comfort and know that we're doing the right thing at the right costs.
Indeed.
So this is a challenge to the PDP, to Mr. Gbadamosi, to Chief Bode George, people.
Right.
Get your engineers, luckily Chief Bode George is an engineer, get your people to take a second look at this, because this is our money, this is the money that our youth are going to be paying for later in life.
Yep.
But in principle, it's okay.
Okay. All right. Let's stay with the Vanguard. Yoruba will be at war for 100 years if that's BC Akonde speaking there.
Well, for as long as the issue of the Yoruba nation comes up, so would some of us also be reacting to remind ourselves that is not and should not be a problem for now. Why some people are hell bent on this Yoruba nation or Dudua nation thing, I honestly can't understand. I can understand why a lot of them are into activism. It's just as lucrative as setting up a church and whatever.
Right.
But I'm glad that Chief Bisi Akode has learnt his words, and we need other elders too to quickly nip this idea in the bud. I say to you, leaving Nigeria both Yoruba people law, Igbo people law will not solve your problem. If anything, it will compound it. It will compound it.
Right.
Okay, so living Nigeria is, if you social media, there are so many sentiments. Some Hausa Fulani people are killing people and doing that. You can defend yourself. That's not what we're saying. But if you think that you are going to living Nigeria will solve your problem, it will not. In any case, even if you were Dudwa Republic, it doesn't mean that you still not be invaded by Hausa Fulani headsmen. Who to a large extent...
The problems won't just go away.
They won't go away. Who to a large extent are criminals. And guess what? Our people should quickly understand that for those of them who are in support, those who are initiating know why they are doing so. But for those of them who are supporting, you ask yourself, okay, these people that have initiated this, these are leaders of tomorrow? Can I put my fate in their hands? You get what I'm saying?
Can you vouch for?
Can I vouch for? Can you imagine what this Yoruba nation would have been like, but for federal balance? If, for example, you didn't have a federal police, can you imagine where we'd all be? So we need to be careful. Our political leaders have not been challenged enough. They've been taking us for a ride. Our traditional rulers are not any better. A lot of them have been pocketed by the political leaders. And you now say you want a nation because it is the federal balance that is keeping people like you and I.
Right.
Even doing this program, imagine if we were doing this program in a Yoruba nation, where do you think we'd be? But it would be left pocket. Left pocket.
It's in the left pocket.
Everybody go come out what you get.
Oh my word.
And that's a joke. I don't want anybody challenging me. I remember there was a story of somebody who died in the 80s.
Right.
And the guy just collapsed and somebody said, we're just playing with him. He just wanted to test what he had. I'm joking, though, there's nothing in my left pocket. He said,
oh my God. Quickly, let's take some comment off of YouTube. Fela Okereke on YouTube says our constitution was skewed by the military dominated by the Hausa Fulani oligarchy. And Yola Ajayi on YouTube says, Uncle Jimmy, what if you are wrong on the issue of self-determination for the Yorubas, just like you were wrong on the choice
let me
of
quickly react to the gentleman who says that the constitution was skewed by the military. Who are the lawyers? The lawyers who put that same constitution together were the Hausa Fulani people. A lot of young people don't know history.
Right.
They don't know history. They just fall for this propaganda. The problem of Nigeria is not constitutional. The problem of Nigeria is that our leaders are selfish. Most of them are thieves. And they are playing on the sentiments of the poor people.
Yep.
And throwing all kinds of rabbits in their midst for them to struggle over. One day, I hope my people will realize that, look, your major problem, your first as a human being is how do I put food on my table? How do I stay healthy? How do I educate my children? None of your immediate leaders are providing that. There's a lot of rhetoric. How many states in this Yoruba land are practicing what Awolowo preached? How many of our people today who are not practicing what he preached, but were beneficiaries in the 60s? It's okay for you young people to fall for this line. Look, there is always competition amongst nationalities in any country.
Right.
So you just must get your head screwed on tight. The Yorubas were the first to be exposed to proper education and so on. What have you done with it?
So the idea that the constitution is flawed, that we need to first say that we, the people, did not come together to put the constitution together, that idea is flawed as well.
All that is, look, to be honest with you, let me be very honest with you. Yes, politically you can say you have a point, but the truth is that there is no constitution that is perfect. Constitutional reviews are ongoing.
Right.
From generation to generation. For life. You change this, you tweak this, you tweak that, you change this, you tweak that. What our people should learn is that these people are diverting your attention from their own lapses. Do you need a constitutional revolution, a constitutional review to run Lagos well? You get allocation, you get IGR. What have you done with it? What have your leaders done with the money in your own state, in Lagos, in Oyo, in Osun? Osun, where a governor could not pay salaries but spent 7 days celebrating his birthday. And that's Aregbesola. In Lagos, all your assets, let's go there. So let's for you young people, you need to ask yourself pertinent questions. They say when trees fall on top of each other, you take the one on top first. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that even at a local level, you have leaders that you can vouch for. But for as long as young people are ready to take handouts, they're ready to be youth leader, they're ready to go make noise on the internet for these people to benefit. That's what we are going to have. He's talking about constitution. There is no constitution that you have put together in this country that hasn't had massive Yoruba input. Do you know the time gap between the first Yoruba lawyer and the first non-Yoruba lawyer is almost like 40 years?
Oh my.
Yes. So let's get that straight. The West develop massively in the time of Awolowo. As soon as everything changed and contractors became politicians. That's why we found ourselves where we are.
Right. Let's go quickly, Jimmy. 7:53 is the time from the studio, and I want us to take a few more headlines. Let's look at this one. We abide by rules on recruitment, promotion into management cadre, customs. That's coming through from the Tribune newspaper. Well, there is another one here. There's another one here about.
This is the main thing. You read the wrong one.
Nigeria Air Force Wings.
Yes.
First female combat pilot officer. And 5 others.
This was a nice story. So we have our first female combat pilot officer, and her name is Kafayat Sani. Okay, her name is, and I'm quite proud of her. Look at her in her uniform. Yeah. Unfortunately, we lost the other lady. May God guide and bless this lady. And she's gotten her wings, and she's a combat pilot officer, female, Nigerian. I'm very proud of her. I don't know what state she's from, but these are the kind of things that deserve the commendation of the governor.
Very true.
The kind of whatever that we spoke about yesterday. But let's leave that.
Okay, here we go. Ex-banker gets 98-year jail term for stealing 49 million naira, 368,000 naira from employer.
Yes. There is a lot of this going on now. A lot of compromises, people's accounts being compromised. One of the things that I hear that they do, believe it or not, is to go to people's accounts and then change the telephone number in the system, so that when they put it on their own number, they can use it to defraud. Indeed, about a month ago, I had a case, a family member who had a problem in this same bank, First Bank. Okay, this woman she's a former staff of a first generation bank. The story that I'm talking about was from First Bank itself, where it was compromised. I think that the banks need to tidy up their act. Seriously, they do need to tidy up their act and make sure that things because you see, when an employer of the bank steals $368,000 from the employer, a lot of money. That's somebody's money.
That's a lot of money.
Is that the depositor's money? It is somebody's money. And therefore, we need to be. It says that it was actually, thank God, it was the bank that took her to court, and that her name is Oreoluwa Deshakin, a woman, between the months of May 2013 and November 2013 at Ibadan, was being a staff of First Bank. I was right. I know something went up in my head this morning. Who has been a staff of First Bank, stole the sum of 25 million from your employer. Okay, and I'm glad that, because sometimes what happens is when these things happen in banks, they tend to give their people a soft landing. But I'm glad that First Bank
took that up.
They need to review their systems internally. This one I'm saying happened at their Moshin branch.
Oh.
Where that family member, as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, just started getting alerts, and then when further inquiry showed that most likely it could be an internal thing and that it happens quite a lot.
Oh, wow. Jimmy, we have to go right
Yeah, we got
now.
to
But Diabumi is coming up today.
Yeah, I have, you know, where I was before I came here.
Yeah.
There were these two youth corpers I used to watch, and I kept saying to myself, what are these two young? And every time I challenge them, I want to discover today, after I finish with them.
Right.
One of them is Trust.
Okay. That's
Trust.
his name.
That's his name, Trust.
Okay.
He's, what do you call it now? He's partially sighted.
Okay. Visually impaired.
Visually impaired.
Right.
You know, and because of that, I had a particular leaning towards him.
Okay.
You know, and then of course the other one is the other day. So we'll have two young people in their 20s come and give us solutions to some of these problems.
That should be fun. That should be fun. Incidentally, my conversation today at 8 o'clock is about young people, what they are doing in proffering solutions to Nigeria's problems. Because I feel that young people of today, they lament a lot.
Well, the truth is, they had better look. I woke up one day and discovered I was a 50-year-old man. I couldn't be now at 65.
Time just flies by.
Yes, I can't believe I'm the same person. Deep inside me, I'm still the same guy that used to hop around you the lag.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel inside me. But look at it today, but you see, when it will start occurring to you when you start losing your friends one by one. I've lost so many friends in recent times, so many. But like I said the other day, I don't even know if they are luckier to have gone early enough. Of those, because what else is there to what do you see?
It's
in this
getting
country?
worse and worse.
What do you see in this world? What do you see in this country? You know, you and I were up all night watching the
debate.
The debate. Look at the way a president of the United States behaves at a debate, like a bully. So what do you think? Things that have never been seen before now, you see them. It makes living itself become depressing. But I never go yet, though.
Yeah.
Don't think.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere, actually.
I see you. They look my shoe when I was.
No, you never go. You're not going to go anywhere. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming around.
All right, I'll talk to
Lagos, let's bring you the news. After the news, we will talk to ourselves as youths of this country, what we're doing to change events and things around us. Stay here on Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.